Pentagram can be used in the same way as a pentacle. Interlaced triquetra, which is a trefoil knot. The triangle. 3. Trinity triple goddesses, the Wiccan Maid, Mother, and Crone, the Morgan, the fates of Greek myth and gods. Pentacle designs may vary. Pentacle or pattern. The pentacle or pattern disc is an altar with a sigil or magical symbol engraved or inscribed upon it. The most common symbol is a pentagram within a circle, specifically a pentacle, although some other symbols may be used, such as the triquetra, used in Wiccan ritual practices. Sword and knife. A sword or a ritual knife, commonly known as an athame, is often used in Wiccan ritual. An athame, used in Wiccan ritual practices. The main ritual or magic tool in Wicca. It's a black-handled knife. The black-handled athame is often used in combination with the chalice. In Wicca, a chalice. Some forms of neo-paganism make use of chalices in their rituals as well. A chalice may be placed on an altar or on the ground. The chalice may contain wine, whiskey, water, or other liquids. Blood. Censer and incense. The censer is used to dispense incense. Different colors candles can be used for different things. Jewelry. In various traditions of Wicca, jewelry depicting pentacles and other relevant symbols are sometimes worn, both in ritual, and as an everyday piece of jewelry. Cauldron. A cauldron is often associated with witches and witchcraft. It plays a large role in Celtic magic, taking after Ceridwen's cauldron. Ceridwen was a Celtic goddess who possessed a cauldron that had a brew that took a year and a day to construct. Baline herbsicle. Baline. The baline is a white-handled knife, sometimes with a curved blade, like that of a crescent moon. It is used for more practical uses than the athame. For instance, for harvesting and cutting herbs. The baline is used in the physical process of magical works, such as ritual cutting. Sometimes a knife called a curthane, spellings vary, is used, for about same purposes. Pictured Albuquerque in M. CBS/app, Angela Sanford. An Albuquerque woman thought to be a practitioner of modern witchcraft killed a man in an apparent sacrifice, authorities say. A detective reviewing Sanford's cell phone said the victim's phone number was actually programmed under the word sacrifice. Sanford is accused of killing 52-year-old Joel Lieb last month with a dagger, after inviting him to join her in a Wiccan celebration of spring. A Bernalillo County grand jury indicted the 30-year-old Sanford on Wednesday. Authorities have previously said that Sanford, a self-described witch, stabbed Lieb at least a dozen times with a ceremonial knife, and that her account of the killing doesn't add up. Other crimes. San Jose, CA, Christian minister turned Satanist Eric Pryor was arrested in his Mountain View home for spousal abuse and assault with a deadly weapon. His wife, Shelley Bolt, divorced him shortly afterwards. Pryor had been a Wiccan with the craft name Lord Gandalf prior to being a Christian, and once held a public cursing ritual against a Christian evangelist that included several prominent Wiccans. Pryor's conversion to Christianity is questionable. Pryor still seems to have been practicing both Wicca and Satanism even while he was the pastor of Jubilee Christian Center, easily switching and combining the three. While Pryor gave lectures with the usual Wicca is just a front for Satanism line given by Womack and Todd. End of 1994 story. Wicca Other Crimes. Beginning of 1999 story. 1999 Kitchener, Ontario. In September, Wiccan High Priest Kenneth James McMurray pleaded guilty to 5 counts of sexual assault on minors. McMurray held himself out as a leader of a group based on the Wicca religion. He preyed on abused teenagers and required them to engage in a series of homosexual acts which he called mandatory requirements. The Great White, landing in prison. End of 1999 story. Beginning of 1998 story. Wiccan High Priest Angus Fletcher, a counselor in Caulfield, was sentenced to 10 years jail for having had sex with two 15s. Girls who'd been sent to him for help. Prosecution said Fletcher virtually enslaved his victims with drugs and Wiccan witch talk so they'd believe being tied up, spanked, put in a dog's collar and sexually abused was part of a pagan rite. Fletcher said he believed it too. Swearing an oath on a charred stick, he said Wiccan not only allowed him to have sex with the girls, one of whom was a reincarnated Celtic princess Snicker, but to cast a spell to stop them testifying against him, even if it meant their death. It also apparently let him advertise one on the Intimate, as a submissive teen schoolgirl who was bruisable and will take belt and paddle. Justice David Harper, Hover, declared, religion can never be a cloak for the sexual exploitation of children. Which view on sacrifice? Which view certainly, if we are to believe our earliest and most credulous historians, the tribes of Celtic Britain in the Druidic period did perform human sacrifices. Stated by Fraser in The Golden Bough, and by Margaret Murray, that in the old religion the divine king, or his substitute, was ritually murdered after 7 years' reign. King William Rufus' death in the New Forest it has also been being adduced as certain proof of this. Sacrifices involves destruction, must not send a living creature onto another plane of existence without most careful consideration. No human creature should be killed without his or her wholehearted assent, and where that assent cannot be given, such deaths must be made sacrificially. Point must be given as a making holy, as a blessing. Sometimes it is necessary to read the injunction to harm no one, as an injunction to judge between two possible harms. The ritual sacrifice of living creatures other than humans presents fewer problems. The killing of creatures for meat is not therefore a breach of natural law, nor is the breeding of animals for food. To sacrifice a bull or a chicken or a sheep is therefore permissible, provided that the desire is, indeed, to make holy. It must be done, as part of a feast in which all share, so that the meat and its blessings are part of the celebration. Occultists would sacrifice an animal, often a black cockerel,